Okay, so now we are live on YouTube and we're going to get started. Welcome to the Belief Breakthrough Workshop. My name is Gina Tripotto, and I am so excited that you're here. So, if you're watching the replay of this, you're right on time. Welcome. And the goal of today is really learning how to cultivate healthier belief systems. So, we live in a world right now that is creating quite the difficulty in outside of how stressful life usually already is in creating and maintaining a healthy belief system. Meaning, it could be about finances, it could be about career, it could be about romance or love or healthy friendships. The world that we're living in right now is prone to creating some beliefs about the world that and yourself even showing up in the world that maybe aren't the most ideal. And so that is ultimately why I am excited to host this workshop because, the circumstances that create life and affect you in sometimes negative ways are really not your responsibility, right? You didn't cause it. You're just a product of the environment in which you're living in. But your power and your responsibility is in being in control and in charge of what you choose to feed. Your brain is a really powerful tool, and you can choose to feed it in a positive way or feed it in an unhealthy way. And I also believe that your reality really reflects what you choose to believe, what you choose to feed in your mind. And so today we're going to go on a journey together and we're going to look at what are you investing in your mind, and does it need to be changed? Does anything need a tweak, and how to do that? So stay tuned. I'm going to go over a couple of disclaimers right now, just so everybody is aware. I am a licensed clinical therapist in the state of New York. I'm a social worker. However, under Heal with Gina, I operate as a coach. So, because of that, this is not therapy. This is not going to be a substitute for therapy. Because I'm a therapist does not make me a better coach than a different coach who maybe isn't a therapist. And I just want to kind of put that out there. Right now, I'm operating as a coach. And I believe that is it for disclaimers. So if you don't already have your paperwork and your supplies, here's what we need for today's workshop before we get started. I have sent you, or these are accessible, a belief breakthrough worksheet. There is a printable version, which this is, with a nice space to put yourself in the middle here. And then you also need something to write with, or pens or pencils, or just a pen, whatever works for you. Markers, you want to make it colorful, make it colorful. And that's what you need for today. So, the schedule of today, I'm going to start talking with you about why this is important, why I believe that your thoughts are really the creator of your reality. We're going to go through some examples of some common difficult beliefs that people maybe experience or hold on to, especially now. We're going to have an opportunity to go through this worksheet together, fill it out. You're going to have the chance of rewriting some of these beliefs that you hold on to, really identifying what the negative ones are and rewriting it. And at the end, there's going to be an opportunity to set an intention of some type of work that you would like to do moving forward based on what comes out of today's workshop. We're going to do a guided meditation that's going to help you tap into that a little bit further. And at the end, I have a really exciting announcement with some next steps. If you really enjoy the work that you do today and you want to go deeper, we can do that. So let's get into it. I'm going to talk first about the impact of negative beliefs on ourselves and our lives. So I'm going to give you an example of someone who believes that there is a black cloud that follows them and that they have bad luck. And if I say this to you, can you think of someone? Does someone come to mind? And also, is it you? Maybe it is you. No judgment if it is, but that person tends to have a lot of bad things happen to them. So, what is it? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the belief? Was it some bad experiences? Was it the perception on the bad experiences? My take on this is that there are some perceptions that people develop. There's actually a whole spectrum. So if you have like two extremes, there's a whole spectrum in the middle of a belief system that someone can have on any given topic at all. I'm unlovable to I'm absolutely unlovable. I can make as much money as I want to. I'm never going to get ahead financially. And it's not just those two extremes. There's usually a whole gray scale in the middle. And oftentimes what I find is that people are on multiple points of this perspective spectrum, if you will. So someone might, let's say, have a really difficult time with their body. They feel that they really hate their body, the way it looks. They don't like anything about their body. And they feel good that they're going to the gym, perhaps, let's say, or they've just changed their diet as an act of self-love in attempting to love their body. So they're not just all at one extreme. They maybe live most of the time there, but there is some part of them that lives in some kind of optimistic piece of that spectrum that helps them invest in that decision to do something that they feel will change their body or bring them happiness or a healthier relationship with their body. A lot of times people are in multiple places on the spectrum. And so I want you to just kind of think of it as as a spectrum as we go through this process. Um, there's also this idea, right, where it's like, okay, I have some negative beliefs that I'm aware of, and I want to change them, but like, what do I do? And why are we only focusing on beliefs? So the thing is that there's a lot of ways to heal this. And like even in the world of therapy, there's a lot of different therapists that have different perspectives on how to maybe bring someone to transform their life. I personally believe that everything comes back to the thoughts and your belief system because your thoughts impact your feelings and then they impact your behaviors and the outcomes, I think, that are associated with your life. So if someone maybe doesn't feel so, let's look at like a job interview experience. So if someone is pessimistic about the fact that they are underqualified to get a job, and they maybe then feel kind of negative about the job interview that's coming up. They feel really anxious. They feel really like unprepared. They feel inadequate. Those feelings then contribute to them showing up in that job interview and maybe being really nervous and not being the most confident version of themselves, maybe talking about themselves in ways that don't feel very self assured, lead to ultimately them maybe not getting the job. Whereas if they believed that they were really qualified or that they were going to give it their best shot or that they got this opportunity to interview and so they belong there and they want to go in as their best selves and they feel optimistic and they feel hopeful and they feel excited, they're going to have an entirely different interview. And that person that's interviewing them is going to have a completely different perspective of who they're interviewing. So this is how I see your thoughts and your belief system really leading to changes in your feelings and changes in your actions and also affecting your external world. So, how you are interacting with the world and what comes to you. There are tons of ways though to process this, and I'm actually going to be hosting a self-esteem rebirth workshop called Elevate and Embody in May next month. It's going to be a 3-part series, and we're going to go into other forms of this, right? So like we're going to go take a deeper dive into the root of why was this belief created and what do we do with that wounded identity and how do we heal that wounded identity in different levels, in more levels. So we're taking a more multidimensional approach to healing it. And today we're just going to be diving into building some self-awareness around some negative beliefs that you might be holding on to, or that might be holding you back in life for the things that you want and what to do with them. So, self awareness, like I just said, is a huge piece. I always say to people, it's half the battle. If you are being ruled by a belief system that does not have your best or highest self in mind, doesn't have your best interest in mind, and you are not even aware that you're carrying this around and that it's affecting you in a negative way, how are you ever going to become free from it? You're not going to be. It's going to continue to rule you from a subconscious place. And so self awareness is half the battle. When you say, I recognize this belief that I'm holding on to and how it's affecting me in a negative way, that's half the battle. The intervention that I like to use is self awareness, interruption, and intervention. So when we work on our worksheet later, we're going to go through what your negative beliefs are. We're going to have you rewrite them and reframe them in the way that already feels truthful. Like I said, you're on that spectrum. Where's that other piece that's more in the positive end? We're going to feed that. We're going to pick that out. We're going to be self-aware about it. And then we're going to feed it. We're going to strengthen it. And self-awareness is key for that, because when you so often tell yourself the same belief system over and over and over again, even if it's just subtly playing in your mind throughout the day, oh, I'm not good enough for that, or oh, this is so stressful, I'm never going to get rid of this, or everyone else has what I want and I don't feel like I'm ever going to have it, then you need to, if you're going to do this process of rewriting your beliefs, you need the self-awareness to be able to catch yourself when you're in that belief system, interrupt it, and then use an intervention. So what's going to come out of today is a whole bunch of interventions, thought processes, beliefs that you are already invested in that you can continue to invest in consciously. You are going to take back control of your mindset and do this process of self-awareness, interruption, and intervention anytime negative beliefs come up in the future, time and time and time again. And it's going to have more than likely a really positive effect on your life, because you're going to be developing more concrete, healthy belief systems that you would like to nurture or that would benefit you in nurturing. So the other thing is this. What we're going to do today when we rewrite our beliefs, none of them are going to feel so out of touch with reality that you don't feel connected to them at all. That's not going to be the case. We are going to find pieces that you are already connected to that maybe feel like there's a slight resistance to. I'm going to be honest with you, but that it's doable. It's digestible. You can own that new belief and foster it and nurture it, and it's going to be okay. And the reason that I say it is going to be slightly outside your comfort zone is because growth happens when we are outside of our comfort zones. And if you're here, your comfort zone might be causing you to not have the best experiences. It might be a familiar hell. So meaning this is all you've ever known. And even though it fucking sucks, you are committed to staying there because you know what to expect while there. And the idea of maybe branching out and changing your perspective, or investing in hope, or investing in positivity or optimism, or investing in, I don't know, a change might feel so frightening that you choose not to. But if you're going to work on it, on your mindset, on your life, if you want transformation, I really feel that you have to start here. We have to get you out of your comfort zone. Not entirely, but slightly, okay? A slight resistance. And I wanted to say something else as well. So there's going to be in the Elevate and Embody next month, the Self-Esteem Rebirth, three session live group coaching program. We are going to have, there's a workbook that comes if you do sign up for it. where I listed out the principles of healing and the best practices of healing. And that's actually a piece that is um, in the workbook for the pre-course work. So it's something that the second you sign up, you're going to get the workbook, and then you can start on that right away. And one of those principles is that intention setting is key, right? Stepping out of your comfort zone is important and necessary if you're going to change your life. There's a whole bunch that I've listed in there, and they really come from my own work, doing this process over and over and over and transforming my life and pieces of my life over and over and over. These are like kind of the unwritten, unspoken laws of change that if you can get behind, you will thrive, you will shine. But part of it is intention setting, and part of it is in being comfortable accepting stepping out of your comfort zone. So if that sounds interesting to you, there'll be more information we'll give you at the end of today on that workshop. But we are going to work on this practice very soon. Um, I'm gonna we're gonna do this now actually, and then at the end I'm gonna come back to something I was gonna talk about now, but I think it's better to do it later. So for now, let's start with this worksheet. So whether you have the printout version or you have the typable version, grab your pen or your markers or whatever it is. We're going to go through this together, and I'm going to give you time and pauses here for you to start listing these things out. So on the sheet, you're going to see that there are all kinds. I tried to include almost every single thing I could think of that would affect your life: money and abundance, self-worth and confidence, romance and love, time and productivity, whatever it is. These are all areas of yourself and your life that you would be looking for pieces that you maybe struggle with in beliefs about yourself. So maybe, for example, let's start with money and abundance. So a common money and abundance belief that you might have that might not serve you is beliefs around not being deserving of wealth or success. You might have a belief about fearing scarcity or always struggling with money, or thinking money is too hard to come by, or people that have wealth are greedy. Are any of these beliefs that you hold about either money or abundance for yourself or for life that are maybe not serving you? I'm going to give you a moment to really think about it. You can do an I statement, which means I, and then fill in the blank, because you really want to tap into what's true for you or for your life. You could say, I hate people that have a lot of money. I think that they're snooty, and I think that they're greedy, and whatever it is, right? Or I'm never going to get out of debt, or there's never enough money to go around. I'm always behind on bills. Whatever it is, I statements are really powerful. So think about what's true for yourself and write that in. And you're going to write it also on the left side. So the box has two sides. One is going to be the negative belief and then the reframed belief. So write it on the left side of the box. You may have a whole bunch, by the way, that are coming up for you. And if you do, that's okay. Maybe just choose like the core one that stands out for now. And then we're going to do the reframing of it together right now. So what I wrote down was, I believe money is evil, right? So this idea that like the more money I have, the more problems I have, right? Well, that's probably going to rule my life if that's really what I believe. And so what I'm going to do in sitting here is think, what else do I think about money or abundance that I do already subscribe to that is positive or healthy or optimistic? And I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to think about what that is, and I'm going to write it on the right side of the box. So, what I wrote down, and I hope you have yours down. If you don't, you can pause this at any point in time and then resume it. I wrote, money can be a source for good and provide for so many. I'm thinking about now the charities that I see people donate to when they have wealth, and what nonprofits exist and charities exist that do so much with so little. And you know what? Money can actually be a source of good. It doesn't just have to be evil. And maybe I can change my relationship with money with this other idea already in my mind that maybe money really isn't so bad. Maybe I don't have to be resistant to money because money can actually be good. So I hope that you see what we just did there. We took something that existed already within you, we reframed it, and for myself, I rewrote it in a way that makes sense for me in my life and something that I can continue to invest in and nurture. So let's do the next one. So self-worth and confidence. So people believe they're not good enough, worthy, or capable, feeling undeserving of success, love, or happiness, or having a fear of judgment or failure that maybe prevents them from stepping up in life. I'm going to give you some time to think about a statement for yourself or your life that you feel is relevant here. So if you're finished, if you're not, take a pause. If you're finished, um, what I wrote down, which I'll share with you, is I worry that people will reject me for being authentic. Right. So this idea that if I'm too me, people will judge me, reject me, think I'm too much. And maybe that comes up in my life where I try to dull my shine a little, or what makes me because or I don't step up into the light or into opportunities because I'm really worried ultimately by this fear of rejection that affects my sense of self-worth or confidence, right? It's fundamentally rooted in I'm not enough in who I am, or I have to change in who I am in order to fit into the world. And so now I need to reframe that. So confidence, what I rewrote, and you're going to have an opportunity to do this as well. For confidence, it's going to say my authenticity attracts my tribe. So I also, though, believe this other belief that my authentic self attracts my tribe, my people, the people who are going to appreciate me for being authentic. And so, why wouldn't I also want to invest in that belief system? It's okay that I'm holding two beliefs that fundamentally contradict. That happens. We're on the spectrum. I have some beliefs over here, I have some over here. These have a lot of the power. We're pointing out right now what is what, where these beliefs exist so that we can nurture the ones that maybe we want to. So it's okay to have existing beliefs on two sides of the spectrum. I'm going to give you some time to work on this yourself. We're going to go through the friendships, career success, romance, love, health, body image, spirituality, purpose, other, time, and productivity. I'm going to go through with you some examples of what this might be. And then I'm going to take a nice long pause for you to be able to work on this yourself. So, for let's see, relationships and love. Some people might struggle with beliefs around not being lovable or being able to attract healthy relationships. Some fear abandonment, rejection, or not being able to trust others. Some people hold beliefs that they are destined for toxic or unfulfilling relationships. So if there's anything there that inspires you, you can kind of jot that down and come back to it. Let's see, we're going to move to career and success. Some people might struggle with beliefs that they are not capable of achieving career goals or dreams, fearing that they are not qualified or that success is for others and not for them, thinking it's too late to start a new career or change direction. If there's anything there for you that touches on something that feels like it might be relevant to you, take a little note of it. Health and body image. Beliefs around being unhealthy, unfit, or not good enough in terms of physical appearance, fearing that they can't achieve their ideal body or lifestyle, thinking that they are stuck in an unhealthy state or unable to change. Creativity and personal growth, beliefs that they are not creative, talented, or capable of personal development, fearing judgment from others when expressing themselves, thinking personal growth requires an unattainable level of discipline or perfection. Spirituality and purpose, doubts about their connection to something greater or their spiritual path, beliefs that they aren't worthy or of their purpose or they can't make an impact, or fear that they will fail at living their true calling. And last but not least, beliefs that are common about time and productivity, beliefs about not having enough time or feeling overwhelmed, thinking they're too disorganized or unproductive to achieve goals, fear of failure leading to procrastination or perfectionism. And I did put down the other category because there are sometimes beliefs that we hold about ourselves or our lives that maybe don't fall into this. Maybe it's about the political climate. Maybe it's about, the quality of life. It could be anything. It could not maybe fall into any of these categories. So what I'm going to ask you to do on your sheet, if you have the printed out one, you can draw yourself in the middle here. If it's the editable one with PDF, you can put in maybe some characteristics, ways that you see yourself, good or bad, maybe both. You're going to go through each of the sections and you're going to write down what are two dual beliefs that I hold, one that might be more negative and one that's more neutral or positive. In each of these categories, if there is a category that you don't feel like is relevant for you, just skip it. If you're watching the live recording, you can pause here and take as much time as you need, and then we're going to continue on shortly. Welcome back. How did we do? Did we get some interesting beliefs written down? My hope for you is that you were able to. Maybe you surprised yourself with some of the beliefs that you uncovered. Maybe you felt resistant to finding some of the more positive beliefs or neutral beliefs that existed within you. Maybe you're completely stuck and have not found positive or neutral belief. And if that's the case, that is okay. But I do recommend that that's probably the place that you're the most stuck, and to pay special attention to that moving forward. You can ask one of your friends or family members if they would be willing to help you come up with a positive thought or a neutral thought that exists within you. Sometimes other people can support you in ways by seeing things about yourself in your life that you don't necessarily even see. So reach out for support. If you have any questions about any of this and you're watching this on a replay, you can always feel free to email me at info@healwithgina.com, and I'd be happy to support you in any questions that you might have or places where you really, really, really feel stuck. So ideally, though, you have a page full of some negative and neutral and or positive beliefs. And so what do you do with this? Well, my idea is that you kind of have to nurture these more positive beliefs over the course of time. And how do you do that? You have to make a dedicated effort in order to keep these at the forefront of your mind. If your mind is resistant to naturally going to this place or this belief system, you have to make that much more of an effort to nurture that connection, if you will. And over the course of time, the more that you do that intentionally, your brain will start to go there naturally. You'll maybe go through a situation and not spend as much time in a negative headspace, in a negative emotional space as you usually do. And you go, oh, that's different. That's new. Okay. Maybe you don't go to the same headspace that you usually do in a situation. Or maybe you feel resistant, a sense of resistance, like, I know that I shouldn't be thinking this right now, and I don't really want to, but like, this is where I go. Those are all really good indicators of growth and success across this process. But the process is a process. So, two parts: time and commitment. Well, actually, I guess this makes it three. And accountability. So, like, for me, I write these statements down, which maybe you could call them affirmations, but you write these statements down on post-it notes and hang them in places around your apartment or your house that you will see. Maybe you put them in different future dates in your phone calendar with timers or reminders that go off, so you see it pop up, and then you take a moment and you really, really, really commit to just connecting with that mindset and going, yes, yes, okay, this is the mindset that I want to connect with. That's right. It feels really good. Okay. That's what you need to do over the course of time. Stay committed to this. Keep practicing this. It's a practice. It's not going to happen overnight. But the results are not going to be like a light switch being flipped. It's going to be a gradual process that you are going to see is working. Your thoughts and your mind are so powerful, and it's up to you to learn to use your mind as the powerful tool that it is, either to help you or let it hinder you and be in control of you, your choice. So that is ideally, this process, and you can come back and watch this as many times as you want. 6 months from now, you're going to have a whole bunch of new thoughts that you want to be working on. There's an unlimited amount of thoughts to work on. I still do this work, and it doesn't really ever end. Granted, what I am working on maybe is not as deep or intense or as much as maybe when I was, like a teenager, but I've been doing this process like solidly since like being a young teenager, and I still show up to do it. There's new layers as we heal and we step into new pieces of ourselves that we have to shed from the old that just don't serve us anymore. And that is, normal. Another practice that you could do here, you could maybe create some kind of routine with these where you somehow invest in them at the same time every day. If you're a morning person, a night person, maybe you sit with your cup of coffee or a cup of decaf tea and read these through. Break out the sheet, just connect, and don't necessarily connect and read through the thoughts on the left side. Just connect and read through the thoughts on the right and really take your time to emotionally connect with them and feel them in your body. And that's a lot of power right there. So, let me see if there's anything else I need to cover. Over the course of time, your neutral thought, if you can't find a truly like positive one, your neutral thought will maybe become the thought that you put on the left side, and you're creating and investing in a new thought that's even more optimistic on the right. It's a gradual process to move across that spectrum. Just take your time with it and investing in that. Also, we're going to do a guided meditation, which is really exciting. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you probably already are in tune with which life area you wish to change more specifically. Like, which one is the bigger problem? Which one do you find that you really want to make more of the changes with? And I just want you to take a moment and set an intention around it. So if it is any of these, I want you to set an intention. Like, what is your intention in changing this? What is your intention in seeing this through? What is your intention in improving this area of your life? Is it as simple as I am committed to nurturing more neutral beliefs as an act of self love for myself and wanting to maybe let go of this old belief system and welcome in a new one and see changes in my life? Is it that this old belief system just doesn't make me feel good? And so, out of self love for me, I'm choosing to let it go and investing in something new, even if I have no idea it's going to work. What is your intention? It doesn't have to be super positive and out of touch. It can be super realistic and just meeting you where you're at right now. So, like I said earlier, we're going to do I'm hosting a live 90 minute sessions, group coaching session. It's going to be a really small and intimate group in May called Elevate and Embody a Self-Esteem Rebirth, where we're really going to go in and do a lot of inner child work, future self work, healing wounded identities, talking about worthiness and self-respect and how you can really step fully into and embody this future version of yourself. It's basically what we did today, but a way, way, way deeper dive. And if you would like to sign up for it because you came to the Belief Breakthrough Workshop, it is $75, the first 3 people to register with code Breakthrough on my website or Eventbrite. Get this for $75. Otherwise, it's $147 for all 3 sessions. This is the first time I'm rolling it out, and I'm really, really excited. And it's really deep work, really profound work, and it's really rebirthing an entirely new part of yourself and fully stepping into them and watching your life completely transform as a result of that. So if you're feeling called to it, come join. If you're not sure if it's right for you, you can always set up a Kickstart call on my website and we will talk further. And there's no pressure. If it's not for you, you walk away from the Kickstart call thinking that it isn't, and that's fine. No pressure here. I want what's best for you. So Let's talk a little bit more about this guided meditation that I'm about to take you on. I hope that you're in a place that is comfortable and safe. And I hope that you have your intention that we just talked about close to your heart, because we're going to be taking it on a journey. We're going on a journey, really, to kind of connect with it. And so, if you're driving or you're in an unsafe place, please do not do this guided meditation. You can pause this and come back to it. But this is going to be the last piece here. And I would like you to just kind of get comfortable. Close your eyes if you would like. You could keep them open if you would like that as well. And I want you to start by taking a couple of deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And slow your breathing down even further. So make that inhale and exhale even slower. Take your time with it. Take another deep breath, really sinking into the space where you are either sitting or laying down, feeling it underneath you. And in a moment, we're going to go on a journey together. We're going to go to the meadow where all of your thoughts live. I'd like you to imagine that there is a door in the space where you currently are located, a door that's never been there before, that just now you're seeing with your mind's eye. A door that's going to take you into the space of your thoughts and beliefs. A meadow. I'd like you to go to the door and just kind of pay attention to what the door looks like. Is it colored? Is it plain? Is it wood? Is it metal? What are the doorknobs? If there is one, what does it look like? In a moment, we're going to walk through this door. And on the other side is going to be a big, beautiful meadow where all of your thoughts live. Please open the door and walk through it and give yourself a moment to acclimate to your new environment. Let your eyes adjust, trusting what you see. Maybe you see your thoughts whizzing in the air of a windy meadow above some grass. Maybe you see something unpleasant that represents or is reflective or representative of your core belief systems. Whatever it is, just accept without judgment what you see. The key is that you get to change anything about how this meadow operates that you don't like. If you don't like something, if you don't like how something looks, you can change it. I'd like you to just find the healthiest space in the meadow. And I want you to go there now. The most beautiful, pristine space in the meadow. One that feels really good to be in. I want you to just go and lay down and connect with this piece of your meadow. Take notice to what's different about it. Take notice to how you feel while you're here. Take notice to anything else that might be interesting or different. Take notice to the reality that this exists within you and this is accessible to you. And you can live here if you choose. You always have a choice. Remember that intention that you had to set prior to this meditation. I want you to recall what it was. And looking around your meadow, you're going to see a big purple lever. I'd like you to go over to that big purple lever. And I'd like you to offer up what your intention is. And in the midst of this big, beautiful meadow of your thoughts, after you share your intention, I'm going to ask if you will pull that lever. It's almost if solidifying your intention more fully. It's almost as if this lever gets pulled and there's no going back. Your intention has been received and it is already piece of you or your life. It has already made the changes that you have asked. You made the changes. You've made the commitments. You've decided to pull the lever. You are empowered. You are in charge. You are powerful. And you can make life anything that you want it to be from this point forward. You're self-aware of your limiting beliefs that hold you back. You are committed to changing them. And you are never going to be the same again in a really, really, really beautiful way. Feel the love that you have for yourself for being here, for offering up this intention, for making changes in your life and in yourself. There is so much love that exists here in this space. You can give yourself a hug and feel really appreciative to yourself. And in a moment, we're going to go back. Enjoy the last moments here. Taking note of anything that you see on your journey back to the room in which you are existing physically. Maybe you see landscapes change. Maybe there were things that changed on your way out. Just take note of it as you see the door and you're walking back into the door. You're closing the door behind you, knowing you can come back here anytime you want, and it might look different next time. You can go be one with your body and take a nice deep breath. Feeling the integration of the work that we just did, all existing within you. You can start by making small movements in order to bring yourself back into awareness. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Welcome back. If you would like to pause this and take some notes about what you saw, please do. I really hope that you enjoyed that meditation, and I hope it felt really empowering for you to take control back of your life. If there is anything you need moving forward, you can always reach out to me. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching this and for being here with me. This is such a really powerful beginning to transforming your life. And I hope that you just give yourself some credit for even being here today and stepping into this power. This was a huge, brave first step. And with it is going to come a significant reward. And I hope that you feel connected to the love within yourself for making that decision to step onto this path. If I see you for the next workshop, I look forward to it. I hope you are well, worthy, and abundant in the meantime. Thanks so much for being here again, and I'll see you again soon.